How to install a cottage style composite door.
Not very weatherproof, is it? It's got that from the hands.
Start by taking the old door out first. Timber's normally a pain to get out, but on this one we could actually just get the fixings out the frame, which is quite rare. And then now I'm just multi-tooling the inside plaster, so that way then I'm less likely to damage any plaster when removing the old timber frame. You can see how rotten the old timber frame is at the bottom. It was letting water and a draft through into the porch, so that's why the customer requested a new door. I spent quite a lot of time with this customer before we actually ordered the door, back and forth with different door options, different colours, so we could get the correct spec for the customer's preferences. Start by dressing the new door. It's got antique black hardware to keep in character with the house, and that nice black anti-snap barrel. Looking pretty cool. When you're putting the handles and barrels in, you don't want to over tighten anything because it'll make the lock nut grind. If only it were this easier. A click of your fingers and the door fits itself. Young Jack getting the old silicone off with a scraper, and then we like to use the plastic brush attachment. They're from Tool Station. Pretty cool. They're only about £2. Just a quick leaf blower just to get rid of any debris. So that silicone sticks nicely to the floor. This door's not got a sill, so it's imperative that you use silicone underneath so the thresher sticks to the floor, because you're not supposed to fix through low aluminium threshers. So that silicone's stopping the thresher from bouncing up and down. Now the door's in, you want to pack it, so I'm just packing behind the bottom hinge now. And then also, because it's on a low alley thresher, I pack at the bottom just so it's fixed and there's not too big of a gap at the bottom. I just pack the lock side at the top of the weld. I'm just fixing it now. I'm just fixing slightly below the bottom hinge. On the lock side, I just aim the fixing ever so slightly downwards. I'm just checking the twist now, just to make sure the door's in twist. Of course, you'd rather fix the hinge side first, but to get the door in twist, I either had to take the lock side inwards, which would have meant cutting the plaster, or I just put a 3mm packer there between the plaster and the new door on the hinge side, so that way now it's perfectly in twist. So yes, you would rather fit the hinge side first, but you don't need to. It's 3mm. 3mm's not worth grinding all the plaster back on the lock side. Just making sure it's nice and straight, there's no bores in the frame. I'm just putting a packer behind the latch now, so when the door shuts there's not a big rattle. Another leaf blower from the inside, so all the dust that we've just created from the SDS doesn't interfere with our nice sealing up later on. So I've measured this door pretty perfect really. You can see it's quite tight to the brick, but it's not bending anywhere. I did have to make this door as tight as possible almost as well, because it was a cottage. It was a very narrow door to begin with, so I didn't want to make the door any smaller, because obviously then it would have been an extremely small door. So I've not actually used this brand of composite door before, and I've not used one of these threshers, so the thresher was a bit thinner. So when I stuck the silicone down, some silicone come out the front edge. So then I just had to make sure that I got rid of any excess silicone, and I also used the drill bit to go through the drainage holes just to make sure nothing was blocked. Leave the tape on so any expanding foam doesn't go onto the frame. That tape was already off when the door come for some reason, otherwise I would have left that on as well. You can see the packers are behind the bottom hinge, and also there's that 3mm packer, and that lock side's touching the plaster, so that way then the door was in twist. It's just not worth taking all the plaster out. I just use that same plastic brush attachment to the combi drill just to get any excess foam off that may have got onto the brickwork. That way then it's nice and clean. Give her a polish up. This was on a main road also, and it was cream, so I didn't want to just seal it, because it being on a main road, it'll attract the dirt So on this one I decided to use a bit of a secret seal. So I sealed it all up first and then put some 20mm edge fillet cream architrave on. And that way then it's perfectly sealed, but the silicone won't go dirty in time to come because it's protected by the archi. It's all nice and sealed up now in cream silicone. And then the 20mm edge fillet architrave. So I'm just putting another line on now. And then the 20mm edge fillet architrave will go over the top of that. And that way then it'll look as good as it does now in time to come. This colour was also called Mouse's Back by Farrow and Ball, and it's a cream outer frame. A bit of clear silicone along the bottom of the frame just to ensure no water gets through. I've just sealed the top edge in clear silicone just against the lintel. And there's that secret seal, so there's no silicone on show. So it'll look like that in time to come with it being on a busy main road. Quick tidy up and it's another job done for the GM Windows and Doors team. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe and be sure to check out any of our future videos.